Welcome back. It's day 3 of the yoga challenge. Thank you so much for staying connected with me and being committed to doing this challenge. That's really cool. I'm very excited for our practice today that is focused on building strength through yoga. Now, if you're anything like me and you work in a sedentary type of job, or maybe you just have a sedentary lifestyle, the idea of building strength can sound a little bit intimidating. When I think of the words building strength, the images that pop into my mind are going to the gym, lifting really heavy weights. And that's not what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to be using our body to do this strength training. And we're going to build this over time. I'm going to challenge you in this yoga practice today to sit with these postures, to hold them for an extended period of time, but also to not just feel the burn. When your body starts to shake, remember, that's your body getting weaker. You're not getting stronger. Your body's actually saying to you like, hey, I can't handle this load anymore. So rather than pushing to feel a burn and to, really like buff ourselves up, makes me think of that old SNL skit, pump you up. Instead, what we're doing in this yoga practice is we're really trying to focus on strength training through feeling the limits of our body, coming in contact with what it feels like to have that bit of strain, to have that load put on our system, and then to ease back so that we can find some comfort, so we can build strength in the postures, rather than, let's say, forcing our bodies contorting into these difficult postures. All right, let's get this practice started. So for day 2, we worked on a posture called mountain pose, which was simply standing with your feet hips width apart, so standing with your feet on the ground, and if you need to use a chair or the wall to support you, that's a-okay. So let's find ourselves starting this practice in our mountain pose. And if it's comfortable for you, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. Otherwise, you may wish to allow your vision to drop and go out of focus, but just find some stillness standing in mountain pose. With the arms out to the side of the body, experiment with rotating through the arms, palms facing forward. Inhale, press through the crown of the head, find some length in the spine. Exhale to tuck the chin. Notice where you may be feeling any tension in the body. And maybe rotating the palms facing in. Maybe spreading through the fingers. Lifting your toes, spreading through the toes if that's possible for you. Just experimenting with moving the body weight forward, leaning into the balls of the feet. Leaning back, pressing into the heel. And notice what you're showing up to this practice with today. Are you feeling strong? Tired? Take one last breath here on purpose. Breathe all the way in. Really feel the breath move in the body. And still with the feet hips width apart, I'm going to invite you to hinge at your hips, folding forward. You may wish to bring the arms out wide, protecting the back. You may need to move away from the wall or slide your hand down the wall or move the chair. And without any need to maintain some length through the legs, you may wish to bring some bending into the knees, just allowing your upper body to drape over your thighs, really leaning forward into the standing forward fold. Letting the arms hang low. Noticing if there's any tension in the back, and if so, bring a deeper bend into the knees. Maybe lifting out of this forward fold a little bit. Possibly grabbing opposite elbows. And just wagging back and forth a little bit. And notice how your breathing has changed in this standing forward fold. Notice where you feel any pull on any muscles or any strain on your system here in this pose. Now, releasing the arms, if you've grabbed opposite elbows, maybe reaching the fingers down to the ground. And if you have long arms like I do, you might be able to reach the ground. And if not, it might not be your day today. Today, I'm not feeling particularly limber, so I'm actually going to place the palms of my hands onto my shins. Let's begin to lift up. Lifting through the spine. Without craning the neck, just bringing the body up slowly. Inhaling, Coming back to our mountain pose. Just breathing here. The eyes can be closed or the gaze lowered and softly out of focus. Now from here, we're going to need a little bit of cleared space. But again, you might want to stick close to the wall or have a chair nearby for balance. Keeping your right foot right where it is. Let's step the left foot back. And what we're looking for here is for the heel to be behind you, the toes pointed forward. And some people will say that it's necessary for the heels to line up, but that might not be right for your body. The length of your legs might not support that. The weight of your torso might not support that. So whether you use the wall or a chair for some support, let's have the right foot forward, the left foot back with the left toes ever so slightly pointed forward. Bring a bend to the right knee. Finding a little bit of a lunge here, but what we're looking for is to spread the weight between the right foot and the left foot. If you need to look down to keep track of bringing some bend into your knee, go ahead and take a moment to do that, just letting the arms be along the side of your body or using the wall for some balance or a chair. From here, this leg position is the foundation of our Warrior One posture. And just taking a moment to bring a bend into that knee and to play with your body weight, lowering yourself down. And if you find a point where there's too much depth or it's uncomfortable, come back up a little bit. Inhale to lift your body up, to take some of that depth or some of that length out of the posture. Do your best to press through the crown of your head, keeping your spine tall, without really craning yourself into this posture. If it's workable for you, you might want to let go of the wall or a chair if you're holding onto it for balance and begin to bring the arms up, maybe just halfway, pointing forward. The palms facing one another, spreading through the fingers. You may wish to have your gaze softly just past the fingers here, that long 1,000-yard stare, as it's called. Maybe inhaling, experimenting with lifting the arms up higher, noticing any tension in the shoulders and the trapezoids. Notice if your neck is trying to get involved with this posture. See if you can let go of any tension in the neck and just allow this posture to be about the legs, the feet, and experimenting with the arms. With the arms wide, lifted, or lowered, perhaps parallel to the body. I'm going to invite you to take it a little further if it's accessible to you. Perhaps bringing the hands higher and closer together. Maybe the fingers come together and touch. Maybe lifting your gaze past your fingers. Wherever your Warrior One is, pause here, notice it, breathe. And notice how your breath has changed in this posture. Is this taxing to your system? Where do you feel that in your body? Wherever your arms are, exhaling, letting them down, noticing how that feels. Putting some weight into the right foot, step the left foot back, up to the right foot. Coming back with our feet a hips width apart into our mountain pose. Just taking a breath here, standing in this foundational pose, just noticing what it's like to now be here. Inhaling, reaching through the crown of the head, finding some length. Exhaling, let's step the right foot this time back. The left foot stays forward. Bending through the left knee a little bit. And experimenting with lowering the body down and evening the weight between the left and the right foot. working our way into our warrior one, but this time on the opposite side. Once again, maybe the arms stay right where they are, or experimenting with lifting the arms parallel to the ground, palms facing one another, fingers spread wide. Maybe experimenting with lifting the arms up above the head. Perhaps the arms are wide. Wherever your arms are, just bringing your vision past your fingers, a soft, long gaze. Breathing here. And playing around with bringing the hands together. And notice if there's more weight on the front leg or on the back leg. Lifting through the arch of the right foot. Maybe even lifting the toes of the left foot. Seeing if you can maintain a balance between the weight on the front left foot and the back right foot. Take a breath on purpose here, feeling what it's like to be in this posture. This is your time to just show up to your body, to feel what it's like to be in your skin. Exhale, wherever your arms are at, bringing them down, letting them go loose. On your inhale, place some weight into that left foot, step the right foot forward, coming back into your mountain pose. Inhale, breathe in through the crown of the head. Exhale, tuck the chin. Just be and notice. Whatever shows up for you. What is it like to be here now? Now that we've done our warrior one on each side, let's go ahead, take another forward fold, hinge at the hips, fold all the way forward, maybe bringing a bend into the knees, letting the arms extend nice and long. Taking a breath here on purpose. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows if that feels right for you. And this second time in our forward fold, see if you can find some stillness in the posture. Become reacquainted with what it's like to be here. Noticing if any of the sensations in your hamstrings, the muscles in the back of your legs have changed at all. And in your own time, taking an inhale, maybe using a wall or chair for support, or pressing your hands into your shins, lifting up nice and slow, coming all the way up, back into our standing mountain pose. Now from here, let's step the left foot back, bringing a bend to the right knee. The heels are somewhat aligned, but again, not perfectly aligned. Not all of our bodies are made the same. Experimenting with lowering down and then lifting the arms, whether parallel to the ground. Maybe that's what your warrior one looks like today. Or maybe lifting your arms up a little bit higher. Maybe lifting the arms above the head and the hands come together. Let the vision go past the fingers and soften. Breathe in here on purpose. Take a glance down and see if you can line up your knee over top of your ankle, so the right knee is stacked over the right ankle. And then checking out that back left foot, maybe see if you can lift through the arch of your foot, putting the weight on the outside of your foot. But again, maintaining a balance between you, both feet, and how much weight goes into each foot. And wherever your arms are, whether parallel to the floor, extended in front of you, palms facing one another, or whether your arms are overhead, begin to draw your left arm along your right arm, across the center of your body, bringing your left arm behind you. Palms are now facing down, pressing through the fingers. We're going to adjust our left foot, just stepping that left foot a little wider, stepping it back a bit, and now bringing the opening of the foot parallel with the heel, so the toes aren't pointed forward anymore. This is our Warrior 2 posture. Inhale to press through the crown of your head. Exhale to find some softness in the shoulders. Remember, crunching your shoulders up towards your ears or having lots of tension in the trapezoids isn't going to help you with this posture. It's actually going to make it less sustainable. Puts a load on your system in places where we don't need it right now. And if you're noticing yourself a little bit wobbly in this posture, do what you need to do to balance yourself. Perhaps leaning against a wall, using a chair. But just allow yourself in whatever way you can access this pose, to access it. Inhale to bring the arm back forward, putting more pressure into the right foot. Step forward, back into our mountain pose. Standing as tall as is accessible to you. Inhaling to grow through the crown of your head, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling to root down through the feet, maybe even lifting the toes, feeling the corners of the feet press down into the ground. On an inhale, we'll step our right foot back, bringing a bend to the left knee into our Warrior 1, but on the opposite side. The heel comes back aligned with the left heel, right toes pointed forward. Bringing a deeper bend into the left knee. Take a glance down, aligning the left knee over the left ankle, and adjusting your arms into whatever posture is workable for you. Perhaps parallel to the ground or up, maybe even above your head. Maybe the hands come together, if that's workable for you today. Noticing the load that puts on your system. What kind of a Warrior 1 are you working with today? Inhale to reach a little deeper into that posture. Exhale to draw the right arm, wherever your arms are, across the left arm, past the center of your body. Palms turned down, press through the fingers. Step that right foot back a little bit so that the arch of the foot is pointed towards the heel. The toes aren't pointed forward anymore. Opening yourself up into your Warrior 2. And just breathing here. Really pressing through the fingers. Your gaze is long and soft past the left hand's fingers. Perhaps just bringing your vision just past the tips of your fingers on your left hand. Noticing sensations of stability or instability. Noticing sensations of warmth. Inhale, press through the crown of your head. Find some length in this posture. When you feel ready, bringing the arms forward and stepping the right foot back forward. Coming into a standing mountain pose. Having a breath here, noticing what it's like to be in this moment. And from here, I'm going to invite you to just begin to bring a bend to the knees. Almost as if you're trying to sit on an invisible chair. And depending on how accessible it is for you to bring a deep bend to the knees and to come into this chair posture, you may need to use the wall for some balance, or you may just simply need to adjust your expectations of what is accessible to you today. Like, for me, my quads are feeling pretty strong and I think I can get pretty deep into a chair posture today. But I also need to notice that my back can start to get involved in ways that aren't helpful. So maybe easing out of the posture a little is helpful for me. Maybe you just bring a slight bend to the knees and that's what your chair pose looks like today. Whatever is working for you in this moment, with the feet firmly planted on the floor, bending through the knees, Coming into a chair posture, almost like maybe you're using a toilet that you don't actually want your butt cheeks to touch because it's really gross. So you're trying to hover over top of it. Wherever your arms are at, see if you can lift them, maybe parallel to the ground. Spreading through the fingers, palms facing one another. Maybe inhaling to lift the arms a little higher. And again, just seeing what's accessible to you. And noticing the load that's being placed on your system here in this chair pose. Maybe inhale to lift the gaze, lift the arms a little higher. Exhale to soften through the shoulders, through the neck, through the jaw even. And noticing if your body is beginning to shake, if you're beginning to get warmer, if sweat is forming anywhere. And if I was to tell you that we were going to stay in this posture for 7 more breaths, how would you adjust this posture so that it could be sustainable? Would you maybe stand up a little taller to take some of the pressure off your low back or off of your quads? And however you adjust your posture here, just notice where your train of thinking takes you. One last breath. Let's inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, press all the way back up. Let's stand in our mountain. Shake it off. Inhale, let's breathe in all the way. Exhale, let's take one last forward fold, folding all the way forward, hinging at the hips, grabbing opposite elbows. Taking some breaths here in this forward fold, allowing yourself a moment to just show up to whatever is in this moment. You worked hard in this practice. Allow yourself a moment to rest here and have some breaths before we begin to wind down this practice. Whether pressing the hands down into the floor, using a chair or wall to help yourself, or pressing the hands into the shins. Inhaling to lift up out of this posture. Maybe come up nice and slow, stacking vertebrae upon vertebrae as you lift up, back into our standing mountain pose. Let's go ahead and make our way down onto our backs as we begin to wrap up this practice. Laying supine on your back, let's bring our feet flat to the floor with a bend to the knees. Have the feet about a hip's width apart. Maybe just walk the heels in a little bit closer to the butt, but your feet don't really need to be pressed right up against your sit bones or butt cheeks. With your arms splaying out, let's make sure that our neck is nice and long, lifted. We don't want to put any pressure on our necks. And from here in this supine posture, laying back, go ahead and with your palms pressing down into the ground, arms splayed out. On your inhale, just beginning to lift the body up off of the ground. Starting with the tailbone, lifting up vertebrae by vertebrae. And when you get up to about the shoulders, you don't need to go any further. We're just introducing a little bit of a back bend here. We've done lots of forward folding today. We've done lots of strength work with our legs, a little bit with our core as well. So let's just take an opportunity to be on our backs, to be supine, and to bring a little bit of a back bend into our practice here to wrap up for the day. Exhale, coming down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping down onto the floor until you've come down with your pelvis flat on the ground. Take one last inhale, breathing in, lifting up. Noticing the sensations of being in this back bend. And as you exhale, you may wish to extend your legs, turn your palms facing up, and allow yourself to have a few moments to just enjoy this resting posture before continuing on with your day. Thank you so much for joining us on day 3 of this yoga challenge. It's really great to have you along on this journey. Don't forget to share it with your friends and definitely be subscribed so that you stay updated on these videos. Leave any comments down below on what your experience was of this practice, and keep in mind that we're going to keep moving forward with additional strength training in additional videos. We're just starting nice and slow with this one. Let me know how your journey on this path is going. I want to hear what your experiences of these yoga practices and how you're advancing or challenges that you're facing. Thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.